I take it as an insult because if I really was wife material, then why are we not married then? Why? Why, sir?
I think you're not married because those fingernails, sis. Whoa. Those were some claws with weird slashes and curves. Like, what? Okay.
She's not married because of the slashers.
Yeah. What was that? Like Wolverine. Those fingernails tell me that woman lives in emotions all day, every day. There's those fingernails. I'm sorry. Look at my fingernails compared to that woman's fingernails. You know what my fingernails are like this from? Washing dishes, taking care of children, giving my husband a back rub, typing to make money on a side for my kids. I can't afford. I'm not what weird princess weirdo has those. She can't do anything with them. That's the minute a man sees that, it tells him, I'm not willing to work with you and for you. I'm a princess. Put it all here. I promise you, that's what a man says. Are there any guys popping up in the comments here? Because I want to see if you're a guy, is that what those snuffleupagus eyelashes and those fingernails say to you? I am high maintenance. I'm going to cost you a heck of a lot of money, and I'm not doing a thing because I'm the prize. Piffle. A man wants someone to build with, to work with. He knows taking care of his children isn't a cakewalk, and he wants someone that's willing to dig in and do it. I laugh and say, God had a sense of humor having my husband. My husband's the hardest working man in the entire world. I said, God has a sense of humor because he made me marry the only man in the world that makes me look lazy. Because I'm pretty with it. I'm pretty out there. And that appealed to him incredibly because he was such a hardworking person. He wanted to know someone was going to be there in the thick of it with him. Who's going with him on that quest for what he's trying to do, his mission.
I guess you're right. You're saying like, okay, when women come with like all this excess, right? The latest beauty trends, sometimes I think very much trying to emulate like the IG models. What like men who are looking for wives are thinking is cha-ching, this is just an expensive check. This is a princess who wants to be taken care of. This is not somebody who can work alongside me to raise kids. Because to your point, raising kids, you got long nails like claws. You're trying to change a diaper.
Yeah, no, it don't work. No dice.
So you're saying they're thinking practically like this is maybe a hit it and quit it, but this is not.
That is 100%. You are presenting yourself from moment 1 second. And she could have the best brain in the world and the most maternal heart in the world, but a man who's marriage-minded sees that and she's immediately in playtime category.
Playtime category. But you know what? And that's probably consistent. If you look at her other page, she has one page talking about how to date unattractive men for money. And she's like, oh, looking at the ATM. So I don't, once you get to that mindset, it's like, yeah, that's not a wife. If you're literally saying that ATM, that's not, you do at that point, you don't want to be trying to change diapers. You don't want to actually do the work associated with being a wife. And so you put yourself in another category. And some women, I think, basically, like I have, especially more recently, I've come to the conclusion that like not all women are wives. You can't just like one day and just think, okay, I've been sleeping around for the last 40 years. Now my prince and charming, shining armor is going to come and sweep me off my feet because I prayed for 2 seconds. Like, there are qualities and characteristics and there's sacrifice and there's work associated with that. And a lot of what we are presented in mainstream media and different television shows and magazines, all the different ways we are presented a princess fantasy, but we are not presented the actual work associated with being a wife. You gave the example a few minutes ago of a woman who essentially spent her life continuing to sacrifice for her husband and for her family, and she reaped internal benefits of it. She had a joyous countenance, But she wasn't going on. I'm sure she probably wasn't going on every couple of weeks on all these lavish trips and getting all these the newest nails and the freshest hairstyle. And she was working.
Nor am I in my incredibly happy, satisfying marriage. I'm not. Because that's not what marriage is for. There is this lie that that's what marriage is for, to have someone to pay the bills for you and to do that. Or again, why then? I mean, and again, if a woman's a high earner, why would you want to get married? I'll provide that for myself. But that's not the point of marriage. It really isn't. Like I said, it's to be on the biggest self-improvement journey of your life and to give the world something wonderful, whether that's in the children you raise or the example you give, or just a stable family unit that stabilizes the neighborhood and the society around you. That's what it's about. And again, until you do it, you don't know the rewards of it, because there are internal rewards and they're big, but you're not going to know until you do it. And doing it, though, requires a shift that many modern women are not willing to do. And that's, like you said, some are just not wives. Honestly, there used to be a big group. Again, I'm a lawyer. I do a lot of real estate work.
Yeah.
Do you know when I first started doing deeds for real estate transactions 25-ish years ago?
Okay.
If a woman was unmarried, you had to deed it to Carla Dobrovitz's spinster. They literally used the word 25 years ago, spinster. And spinster meant a currently unmarried and has never been married woman.
Wow.
It had the two things. So now we put an unmarried woman, but it doesn't make clear, are they a widow? Did they die before? Are they divorced and not since remarried? Unmarried. There used to be a very specific category of woman who was probably the school teacher, right? Who was a nurse, who was a nun, who lived in a way where she did not get married. And there was also a very different, there was a category of men who did not marry either. But there was a way bigger category than we have now. Average men who were happy to marry an average woman and vice versa.
Yeah.
Happy about it.
Yeah.
Both 3s or 4s, right? On our scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Never making more than whatever the average is, maybe to the low end. And I contend that they are still happier in the long run if they treat each other well, kindly, they're looking out for the good of the people. If they share children together and they do that the right way, I contend they will be exceptionally happy at the end of their lives in a way that someone who is not married, sure, they can be satisfied. Again, though, is it really their choice? Is that how it would have been? Actually, the lovely lady who's helping me take care of my little girl right now, she's never been married and is a nurse and is the most joyful, loving person ever. But she always said, like, I knew I never wanted to be married. Okay. I just knew I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to go do this. I wanted to go do that. She worked as a missionary for a while. She did this, she did that. Like, great, awesome. You're doing what you wanted to do and were meant to do, and so am I. Yeah. So, but yeah, I will tell you, I don't know who this woman is talking to. She doesn't think, these men don't think a wifey material is dumb. They just think you're not it.